Hi Stitchers, happy Sunday. Today is the 1st of November already. It's hard to believe that Thanksgiving is 3 weeks away for us. And then last night we had daylight savings time, which gave us an additional hour of sleep. Yay! But I woke up at my usual time, only an hour earlier. According to daylight savings time, my internal clock said it was 5:30, but in all actual it was 4:30 a.m. Today I decided to do a video with an introduction about myself. So I feel rather chatty today. I usually personally like to watch longer videos about the Stitchers and a little bit about their personal lives, and along with their beautiful pieces. So I hope I don't bore you to tears. And then I have my WIPS, and I have a couple of things to show you. I did place an order with 123 Stitch last week, but they said it's coming Monday. And you know when you order something and you really want it, even though you're not going to use it right away, you still want it in your possession? That's kind of how I felt. It's like, why couldn't I have gotten it on Saturday? But I have something to look forward to on Monday, and then I can show you guys next week what I ordered. It isn't really anything that great or big or anything, but every time I order something, I think I feel it's like Christmas all over again. So getting to my introduction. Where do you live? I live in a reasonably small town, although for South Dakota it's a big town. It's the 5th largest town in the state of South Dakota. I'm about 50 miles from the Minnesota border, and about 100 possibly to the North Dakota border. So I'm kind of in the northeast corner. Last night, yesterday our temps were about 60, which is really above average for us. Today they're supposed to be in the 60s, but by the end of the week we're supposed to start seeing the low 40s. And we did have a little bit of snow this week, but it quickly melted with the warmer weather. Usually around this time with Halloween and everything, we start getting our first snowfall, which isn't the bad part. The bad part is it lasts till April, sometimes May. So my son always says that South Dakota has 2 seasons, winter and 4th of July, which is probably not that far off. Okay, so I live in South Dakota. What do I do for a job? I am a special education director and teacher. I did teach high school English for about 16 years. Loved it, but decided that I could do more with teaching children one-to-one and helping them learn to read and write and to speak. I love my job. I'm glad I made the change. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I've been in the teaching field for about 25 years. I went back to school several times. My oldest daughter always says, "Mom, you've been to school my whole life," and which is probably true. I won't bore you with all my credentials, but after receiving my master's degree, I decided that maybe it was time to quit and just spend time in the classroom. For me to get a doctorate degree at my age, South Dakota is the 51st state as far as teacher pay. It's horrendous. I believe they start teachers out here at $28,000 a year, even though the cost of living is cheaper here. I mean, that is terrible. I think teachers should get paid the same regardless, and where you decide to live is your own choice. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. In fact, North Dakota makes $7,000 more starting out a year than South Dakota. Why would I live in South Dakota with the winters? My family is from here, and my father passed away in 1997. I'm an only child, and my mother just passed away this last November. So I have a small family. It's just me and my 3 children, my son-in-law, and my 2 grandchildren. And that's the extent of our family. I always wanted a large family, but it just never happened that way. But I do have my students, and they make up for the children in my life. But I try to talk my oldest daughter, the other two are single, try to talk her into having giving another grandchild. But my granddaughter's 20, and my grandson is 16. And she said, "Mom, it would just be too weird. Talk to the other two. I've donated. I've given you two." Well, my son is single. I will try to insert a picture once I figure out how to do it of my kids. And my youngest daughter is engaged. I don't have any pets. This whole last year has been insane. I switched jobs. I ended a 10-year relationship. My mother passed away, and I moved. So that happened all in about 6 months. And so I lived on a farm by myself. I owned the farm. And the winters just got to be too much. Plus I was driving 50 miles one way to work each day. So it was 100 miles a day round trip on icy roads, snow-packed roads, trying to get out of my driveway, trying to get a tractor to get me out. I mean, you can only imagine the nightmare. So I moved to town, and actually about 50 miles away, so I'm only about 12 miles from my job. And so, I mean, getting used to the noise of the city is quite different than the life of the country. I absolutely miss the country. And so when I moved into this duplex, they have a pet policy, but you have to have a pet that's 20 pounds or under, and with a $400 deposit that you never get back. I do not want, myself personally, I'm used to German Shepherds and Labs. I do not want an ankle biter. That's what I call them, but I love small dogs too. I do like beagles and basset hounds and things with big ears. They're just cute. I mean, what can you say? I possibly might be getting a dog in this year sometime, or next year, by the time school gets out. I have diabetes, that's one thing, and I have some neuropathy in my feet, and I have some balance issues. So I might need a dog for stability. So I'm thinking a Lab or a German Shepherd. I believe in rescuing dogs. I donate my time to the Humane Society as much as I can. And I truly believe in rescue, but I only want one dog, and so I haven't decided. I miss puppy breath, okay? I love puppies, they're cute, and so it's really a hard decision because I love rescue animals too, and they deserve to have a home after being through some of the things that they went through. So I'm torn both ways, but we'll see. But I'm excited to finally be able to get a dog that will be able to help me and will be of some value. So, okay, my favorite fabric. Well, I stitch on about anything, except my eyes have gotten so bad, I really can't stitch on 40 count. I have my mag eyes, but even with that, it's a strain on my eyes. Usually I do 32 count Lugana or 32 count linen, either way, but lately I've been doing more even weave. But my eyes are bad, so I still have to use the mag eyes for that. I have some 28 count, but I did buy some Ada, 14 count Ada, so I'm going to give that a try. I haven't stitched on Ada for years, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. Let's see, what is the next favorite patterns? Geez, there's so many things. There's so many things that I enjoy. I love samplers, and one thing I really like about samplers, is that there isn't really any back stitching in it. So I really like that. I love the lavender lace, the mirabilias. I love country things and Amish pictures. I love all of that stuff too. I was sitting here looking at my notes, and I was going to mention about my son. I will insert a picture, like I said, if I can figure out how to do it. And he's 36 years old, ladies, single, makes good money, but I just need to find him the right girlfriend. He always asks me his approval on what I think of the girls, and then I give it to him. You know, moms are always overprotective of their sons, and then he would get upset, of course. So I said to him, unless you're serious about them, don't bring them home, because I'm going to give you my thoughts on girls. So anyway, but he's a good kid, and he's good to his mama. My oldest daughter and her husband and my 2 grandkids live in Fargo, North Dakota, so I get to visit the Nordic Needle, and that's about 140 miles from me. Especially in wintertime, I don't get up there very often, but I am going to go up there for Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping. My son said he's driving. Pray for me. So I'm hoping that he goes up on the day before Thanksgiving or stays the day after, so I can go to the Nordic Needle. Maybe not the day after. Isn't that like Black Friday? Oh, maybe not. But their shipping costs are kind of high, so I always try to get up there just to look at things, patterns, threads. I do have a little store here in town. Mainly it's yarn, but they do have mainly DMC, no anchor, some patterns, but they're willing to order. One thing I really like about them is that they have a lot of older patterns, like the Mirabilia, the ones that are out of print, so I managed to get a couple of those. Some lavender and lace ones, and plus they do framing there, so I usually get my things framed there as well. Let's see, I'm sorry I got sidetracked here. Oh yeah, and then I wanted to try a Heaven and Earth design. I've never done it, and it seems overwhelming to me. I can't imagine parking thread. I think I'd have a ball of mess. I think it would be better for me just to tie off each thread. I don't know. I've never done it before, so who knows. I have a couple patterns for chatelaines that I haven't stitched yet, and they seem rather overwhelming to me as well. But maybe during the summer when I have off, maybe I'll attempt both those projects, unless I really get the stitching bug. Okay. A random fact about me. Well, I've already mentioned that I'm a diabetic. I'm type 2. And yes, I started the gene pool in my family. So I notice a lot of you stitchers have drinks with you. Sometimes I don't even bother pouring a glass. Okay, diet A&W in the bottle. I gave up caffeine because I sometimes have a hard time sleeping, so I gave up caffeine altogether. Lately, I've been putting water in a cup with lemons. Sometimes if it's a bit too acidic, I add some Sprite, Diet Sprite, or Diet 7-Up, or Diet Squirt. Or sometimes I just fill up a squirt, Diet Squirt. So that's what I drink too. I don't do teas or coffees, and because I'm diabetic, I don't do juices or anything like that. So mainly it's water, diet soda, and lately lemons with water. And then I was going to show you too, because I think this is really funny. At our local theater, popcorn and soda is really expensive. I think it's between $17 and $19 between a large popcorn and a large soda. Well, they started something at our local theater. It's called the Magic Bucket. See, it's like an ice cream pail. And on the side, where is it? Oh yeah, here. They mark the month. Oh, I can never do this. I'm so uncoordinated, heaven forbid. But they mark the month and the year when you get it. And it's good for 1 year. So you fill it up, it costs you $13. But for that whole year, see, it's got popcorn in it. I just bought some today. For the whole year, anytime you go into the theater, whether it's to watch a movie or just get popcorn, you don't have to stay. It costs you $2. So I just think it's so worthwhile, and especially if you love theater popcorn. It's probably not the best for you. I've heard it being called death in a bucket, but just love it. So yeah, popcorn and cross-stitching probably, greasy popcorn and cross-stitching probably really don't go together. Okay, random fact. I keep getting sidetracked. I told you I'm really chatty today. I'll try to keep this video under an hour. Random fact. I grew up in Michigan. I moved to South Dakota when I was a junior in high school. My mom was the oldest of 10 kids. My dad was near retirement. They were planning on moving to South Dakota after my dad retired. I was a junior, middle of my junior year in high school. My grandmother passed away, and somebody had to help take care of my grandfather. So my mom was able to do that, and we moved, our family, or my mom and dad, myself, we moved to South Dakota. I went to school in a small town of less than 100 people. I had 9 other kids that I graduated with, and that's where I spent. Prior to that, I lived in Michigan, about 100 miles from Battle Creek or Kalamazoo, down that way. And I went to school with the actor-comedian Sinbad. He was a year younger than I was, and in a big school you don't really know, everybody. His brother was in my grade, I believe, and I didn't know him either. But if I would have known that he was going to be famous, I might have talked to him a few times, or maybe try to date him or something, But he was a minister's kid. I do know that. Okay, 3 hobbies that I like to do besides stitching. I'm a pretty upbeat, positive person, so I'll try most anything, I should say, once. I enjoy reading. Always looking for something good to read. Right now I'm reading a new biography on Laura Ingalls Wilder, and you should check it out. It's an annotated biography. It's a huge book. I could go get it, but maybe I can somehow insert a picture of that too. But I'm reading that, and I love reading anything about Tudors, Victorian era. Mostly what nobody else wants to read, I like to read. I also teach Sunday school, and so I spend a lot of time reading the Bible. So my life is pretty boring. Traveling, I've been to over half of the United States. I've been overseas. I went to Amsterdam. Absolutely loved it there. Absolutely loved it. I can't wait to go back. I'd still like to go to London, and see some of the Shakespearean things. I'd love to go to Venice, and there's so many beautiful countries out there, and that I would like to visit. And I love castles. I absolutely love castles. I don't know, maybe it's the girl, the princess, the romance. I love anything about the royals. I like to follow them, on the news. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, I'm in a play. And I play an 80-year-old woman who is old and mean. And the only reason her family tolerates her is because she's rich. So I'm having a lot of fun doing it. The play is the week before Thanksgiving, so I'll be teaching all day and then play at night till late. I probably won't have a video that week because I just don't even know how I'm going to function. So I have that going on in my life too. Let's see. Favorite music. I do listen to some of the regular songs on the radio. The only time I listen to the radio generally is in the car. And I listen to contemporary praise and worship music. I love Mark Schultz. I've probably went to 3 or 4 of his concerts. Absolutely love him. Johnny Diaz, went to a few of his concerts. Absolutely love him. Selah, went to their concerts. Absolutely love them. Let's see, and Big Daddy Weave, of course. Absolutely love them. Been to a couple of their concerts. So that's mainly what I listen to, that type of music. Let's see, favorite movie. You know, there's so many of them. I just saw The War Room a few weeks ago, and I went actually twice. A friend of mine was going to go see it, and she was going to go by herself, and I didn't think that anybody should have to go to the movies by themselves, so I went with her. And I saw War Room for the second time. Really a worthwhile movie. But I think my all-time favorite movie is The Color Purple. Every time I see it, I cry. Even though I know how it's going to end, I still cry. Tried to read the book, but it just wasn't the same. But absolutely love the Steven Spielberg movie, Color Purple. Some movie I could watch over and over again, too. Okay, favorite TV shows? Oh my gosh, I watch so much reality TV. Yes, I do. Summertime, Big Brother. Hey to all you Big Brother fans. I watch Real Housewives. A lot of them, all of them, practically. I watch The Little People. I do watch a couple of things on Netflix. I watch, I love the Tudor series. I watch Downton Abbey, and I'm sad to see that end. Of course, I'm into all of that. But I like to watch The Little Couple, Little Women of L.A., like MasterChef. I pretty much watch the majority of reality TV. Hopefully it's not making me dumber. But, yeah, love reality TV. My granddaughter is watching Empire, and I tried to get into it, but couldn't get into it. And I don't watch horror or suspenseful things. I always tell my students I have to sleep at night, and when I watch it stuff, I have a hard enough time sleeping the way it is, so can't watch it. Okay, let's see. Describe myself in one word. Probably patient. When it comes to an A or B type personality, I probably have a C or a D. I'm extremely laid back. Nothing generally works me up or upsets me, or I'm pretty patient and understanding and a good listener. Maybe that's why I'm in special education, right? Love my job. Okay, and I do follow a few of you on YouTube faithfully, and I don't want to leave anybody out because I love everybody that I watch so far. But there are a couple that I do watch faithfully, and that's Stash Queen. Hi, Katie. I love The Lovely Array. Hi, Mackenzie. The Coffee Stitcher. Like him just as much, too. Love him. Hi, Garrett. And Carolyn Nazio. Love her beautiful stitching. And she's such a fast stitcher, and she really has useful tips. So if you haven't watched any of them, they're wonderful to watch. But I'm horrible at names. I can't remember names, so please forgive me if I've forgotten any of you that I have on my subscribe list that I watch. Not meaning to offend anybody. So that is a basic introduction of myself. It's been almost 25 minutes and I've talked. A friend of mine said one time, and this is probably the teacher in me, he says, one day you're going to talk till your mouth catches on fire. And that might be true. Okay, now for my hauls. I just got 2 things. Here is my 14 count Ada. It's more creamy. It's Fiddler oatmeal. And I have a project for this, but you'll see this coming down the pike at a later time. So That's really the only thing I got in the mail. And then our local library, they clean out their shelves every day, or old magazines, and they put them out for people to take. I usually take them for some of my Sunday school students to cut pictures out of, things like that, or some of my students. So I usually go through them, and or then some people too that want to get rid of magazines and recycle them, they put them in their bin thing, so people can look through them. And I dropped some books off at the library today. And what did I find there? Oh my gosh. This! I was just looking at it, and it was $10, and I thought, I have so many things that I have yet to stitch. There is a fly buzzing around here, and it's cold outside, so all the flies are horrible, and every time I pick up my fly swatter, it flies away. I've already killed one already, and so I had to this is a funny thing, I've had to restart my video twice because this fly keeps buzzing back and forth in front of the screen. You know, I just decided heck with it. So if you see me pick up my fly swatter, you know, don't be alarmed. But anyway, so this is what they had in their rack bin today, and I was so thankful. So now I might do some stitching ornaments for Christmas. But how many I'll get done before Christmas, I don't know, especially with the play and work and trying to work on my WIPS. But there's always next year, right? So those are my two things that I had to show. Okay, now for my WIPS. I had a better stitching week this week. Only because I know that I have a video coming up on Sundays, and it was embarrassing last week just to show you 14 stitches of which I put in. So this week will be a little bit better. Okay, starting with the first one. Here's my Cinderella, and it's showing it lighter than it is. Why won't, oh, there we go, darker. Okay, but I did all of this down here at the bottom. I added some more metallics here and here. I think that I've gotten really bored with this piece, only just because of all the white and light colors, and as you know, metallic stitch is really slow. But even just putting 10 stitches a day in, I've gotten really quite a bit done. Let me move this out of the way here. So is that better? Let's see. And so I put in about 130 stitches this week. So I'm thinking that I might do with some of that with my other projects, but I want to get this done first. But I might integrate another one into 10 stitches. And this one stays on the Q-snap all the time. So I'm thinking if you have one of those projects that are sitting in a pile that you haven't touched for a long time, and you're just going, oh, I really don't want to work on that just yet or tackle that just yet, try doing 10 stitches a day. You'll find out it really goes by quickly. You have 100 and plus stitches per week. So that's my solution. I put this on my Q-snap today, but I didn't get to stitch it. But here's the pattern, and I've shown this in some of my previous videos. It's called Christmas Village by Stony Creek. And I can't remember what count Lugana it's on, but it's such a fast stitch. Well, it's not really fast because I'm a slow stitcher anyway. I still have a couple magazines to order yet. Let's see. And this was in starting 20 count Lugana over 2. So, but I think it was in my first or second video that I showed this. Like I said, here it is. And I'm just up in the corner, right up here. Right here. And this here. So I will show you. what it is that I've done so far, but this isn't, I don't think, any more than what I did last time, but this is it. And I noticed like a little bit of a spot here, and I'm wondering if I should wash it now, take the spot out. I mean, I always try to keep my hands clean and washed at all times, or whether I should just wait until it's all done and then wash it. Let me know what you think. So here it is again, and I don't know whether it's something, I'll probably keep this. I usually, by the time I'm done with something, I'm usually sick of it and I want to give it away. Hence, I don't have any cross-stitch pictures for myself. So I want to start keeping some. One that I did order fabric for Fairy Idol, and I ordered fabric for another one too, I can't remember. This one is a free pattern, and I have it stitched in 2 different threads, one of which is Gloriana in blue, or blueberry I think it is, and I made a mistake in it and I have a lot of ripping to do. And so I'm thinking, I'm just not ready to tackle that yet. And you know how the thread color changes, and I'm hoping that I have enough thread, and if I don't or I can't find any, I'll cry, especially since it's such a big piece. But I have one done in DMC too, and this is what it looks like. And I stitched a little bit on here last night. That was my 100 stitches. And this is all, like I said, DMC. And then this down here is Threadworks. This alphabet right here. But this is a huge pattern too. I can't remember how many inches by how many, but you can just see by all the fabric here that it is a big piece. But I think this is on 36 count, if I'm not mistaken. So, with one thread it goes by pretty fast too. Okay, my Rose Quaker. I'll show that to you guys. This is my Rose Quaker. What I finished was I put this in here, and then I did this over here. So I did, and that was my 100 stitches. I really like that piece, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, and whether it's me or what, but this linen almost feels kind of like plastic or waxy or something. I don't know. It's just got an odd feel to it. And I bought that off the bolt at our little store. My French alphabet sampler. Let's see. Here it is. What I did do, let's see, I think I did 4, 5, and part of 6. And that's when I finished. You can see that. And this is done on 36 count doubloon with Gloriana Cranberry, I believe. That's a beautiful fabric. Then I happened to drag out my Books of the Bible pattern. And I've gotten not quite halfway, and this is on Steph's Forest Bloom. I did do the words Hosea and Joel. I did put those in there. Really, I have so much done on this. I need to really work on this more. And I haven't decided whether I'm giving this one away or keeping it. I might just end up keeping it. I don't know yet. We'll see how I feel when I finish it. This is my Quaker Virtues. You can see it. And what I did was a little bit on the bottom down here, those lines going across, and then I did this little diamond shape thing. So that's it. And that's done with Pearl DMC, I think 814, and Country Mocha 28 count. Pretty much an easy stitch. But sometimes I almost like to do 32 count because you can fold the thread in half and you don't have as much back issue on the back of your piece. You don't have as many issues. And then my last piece to show you is my namesake, which I kind of want to work on today, but I probably should work on the Christmas Village. Hey, I'm not even near an hour. I'm only 36 minutes into this. And here is this. Oops, sorry. Fabric's getting all wadded up. See, I do really big pieces. I have all this fabric to handle. Why can't I just do like little ones? Okay, so I finished up the C. I finished up the H. And I started on the M. So that's what it looks like so far. And this 930 DMC on cream, let me tell you, is rich in color. It's just beautiful. And I love working on this ivory Lugana. It's really a nice fabric. So bought it from 123 Stitch. Well, I think that's about it. I hope I didn't bore you too much. There isn't really anything more to show you. As you know, Sundays kind of are lazy days and they go by quickly, and back to work tomorrow and play practice, so I still have lines to memorize yet. I'm supposed to be off book and I'm almost there, but I get on stage and I like freeze. So I gotta practice my lines and know where I come in and stuff. So I'll try to get those pictures added. I hope you have a great day today and a good stitching week, and I will see you next Sunday. Take care.